Hey, it's your second cousin Curly here today to talk to you about a phenomenon I'm calling the Bluegrass power chord. And this was inspired by a recent fiddle tune from the band Cherry Holmes called Tattoo of a Smudge. But actually, it's a phenomenon that shows up all the time in contemporary bluegrass music. And just to make sure we're all on the same page, let me give you an example of a power chord in its sort of native form. It's usually mentioned in the context of rock music. This is a bluegrass turntable, by the way, that I've made using a beer bottle. You have to empty it, drink the beer. I've already taken care of that. An ice pick and just some recreational grade surgical tubing. And then you just spin the album like this, and it works as a reasonable substitute for a turntable. Here you go. This tune, as it happens, is called Tattoo. It's by the Who, live at the, from I believe 1970s. There you have it. Classic power chord. Alright, now how does that show up in bluegrass? Well, you can go and check out the Cherry Holmes tune on my website, but maybe another way of demonstrating this is to give you kind of a before and after. So let's look at traditional bluegrass tune. Here we have Bill Monroe, classic bluegrass tune. This is Bill Monroe and the Bluegrass Boys, a tune Bill Monroe co-wrote with Peter Rowan from the 1960s called Walls of Time. Here you go, give you a little taste of it. There you have it. A classic high and lonesome sound. Alright, now let's jump forward a few decades. And here we have to switch to digital technology, which won't work on the bluegrass turntable, but this is a trick that my namesake Curly Howard used to do. If you have a little stubble on top of your head, you can do this. This is the same tune, Walls of Time, Ricky Skaggs and Kentucky Thunder. Here we go.
Our names are carved up on the tombstone.
All right. You hear the power chords? Now the question I have is, where does that first show up in bluegrass? And you know, we can go and look at examples from the bluegrass canon, songs like Gold Rush or Clinch Mountain Backstep, which don't have just the standard boom chugga boom backbeat. But to me, those are more examples of sort of exceptions that prove the rule. To me, the first place where you hear bands really incorporate that power chord into their style is in the late 60s and early 70s, when you start getting bluegrass bands, for better or worse, pulling pop music influences into their music. And you can hear this. Here's an example from the Seldom Seen's first album, Act 1. This is The City of New Orleans, a pop hit. Here's their version. Listen to this.
Singing Good Night America.
No taste there, you see.
Yet don't you know me, I'm your native son. Well, I'm the...
All right. Same era. That's 1972. Also 1972. Debut album, self-titled Newgrass Revival. I believe this album's out of print, a rare LP. And here we go. This is Lonesome Fiddle Blues. Just a little taste again. Okay, all right. There, I think you have the bluegrass power chord in kind of its infancy. Another influence that I think we have to consider, however, is that of Celtic music, which is always lurking as an influence in bluegrass. And around the same time that the Seldom Seen and Bluegrass Revival were coming to the fore, there was also a revival going on of Celtic music. This is an example. Here's Andy Irvine and Paul Brady, 1976, I believe, The Plains of Kildare. Listen to how they wrap this tune up. All right, which leads to contemporary Celtic tunes, like this is the contemporary Celtic outfit Solas, Irish-American group. This is a recent recording of theirs called Essential Medicine. Here we go, listen to this. Okay, lovely, real intense rhythmic complexity. And I think you can see how that sometimes shows up now in contemporary bluegrass as well. So those are the dots that I've been able to connect. The newgrass influence and pop music influence by way of newgrass Celtic influence. But what am I missing? I'm sure there are other avenues, influences that have worked their way into the music that account for this power chord phenomenon. And in particular, I'd like to know, what do you think is the first instance where you can see this showing up in bluegrass? I've given a couple examples, but maybe there are earlier examples that you know of. I'd like to hear from you. You can go to my website and post a comment there, or on my YouTube channel, or on Vimeo, any of those avenues. I'll collect all your thoughts and get back to you all. Thanks a lot.